Today I will take a quick look at the Unykach Mir B200 MATX case. It's sold on Amazon really cheaply most of the time, and therefore I'm doing this in English since I couldn't find any good information about the case. And people might wonder if it's anything to have. Out of the box we can tell immediately that this is not any premium case. If anyone wondered, yes, it's made of reasonably bad materials, but when found for less than 40 euros, I wouldn't expect anything more. And to be quite frank about it, it feels better than the Tasense Anima AC5500. If anyone has built in that, this is probably the same weight as that one was with the power supplied included. But it has two 140 mil fans in the front. It's MATX only, so you cannot put an ATX motherboard in here, even though I can't imagine anyone buying a new ATX motherboard to build in this case. So let's see what's included. It seems to be an ARGB header, which surprised me. I honestly thought these would be fixed RGB. And you can also connect the reset switch to this one, which will control the other RGB most likely, which is a feature that I absolutely love, to be honest. It's really nice to not have to have a motherboard that actually has an ARGB header. Like this motherboard I will put in today does not have that. So let's see. It looks like it will be a very straightforward build. I am just gonna put on a cooler on this one, and we will be off to the races. So I'm building with a Ryzen 3600, and this is probably what I would recommend of being the top model to use with this type of PC case. I imagine that if you're building with new parts, that you will be building a cheap build, and the build I will do today will be probably around 350 euros, but then I will use this RX 580, a modded version with these types of fans. And I didn't pay too much for the RX 580s, therefore it won't be more expensive than that. But if you're looking into buying a new graphics card in this price range, you can probably find an Intel Arc B570. They're sold in Sweden at the moment for around $250. So either that or maybe a RX 7600. If you cannot afford those type of cards, I would probably try to find something on the used market, since like the RTX 5080s and the RTX 3050s is really overpriced. 6500 XT would not be my card of choice if I had to buy something, because even buying them for 200 euros is not a very good value compared to buying, for example, a RTX 2070 used for the same price, or RTX 3060. Bear in mind though that will need a power supply that has PCIe out, which is yeah, it usually takes away the cheapest power supplies from your choices. So if you have a power supply which does not have that, the RTX 3050 is a perfectly alright option. I'm looking to see where you're supposed to mount a SSD on this one, and yeah, I guess you're just supposed to mount it in the hard drive case. Oh well. Let's put the motherboard in place. We will need to move this one. The pre-mounted standoff is on the lower side, and we will need it on the higher side, so it's lined up with the other one. That depends from M-ATX motherboard to M-ATX motherboard. I don't think they have included, no, they have not included any type of tool to do that yourself, but you can just put in another one, but you will still need some type of tool to do that, even though it's like you can do it with your fingers and then just screw a screw into it, and it will most likely be absolutely fine. Don't think anyone would expect this to be like the most well-built case that they have ever seen. What I do expect from these type of cases is that they're gonna be reasonably easy to build in. I kind of don't hate this case so far. I actually appreciate the M-ATX cases quite a lot, since if you are building a budget build, you most likely won't have an ATX motherboard, and you definitely probably won't need an ATX motherboard, since you will most likely not use more than one PCIe slot anyways. And if you're gonna use a smaller motherboard, I do appreciate that it's not that far between the bottom of the case and the bottom of the motherboard, so it won't look as silly as it might sometimes do when you put an M-ATX motherboard in a full or mid-tower case. But I think this looks pretty neat. It won't take up too much space, and I imagine that it will look pretty decent overall, the build when it's done. So so far I don't know if I'm gonna go so far as saying I'm impressed, but I absolutely don't hate it. It's all right. If I would have any wishes on it, it would probably be to actually have some type of SSD mount that would not force you to take out the hard drive case, because the hard drive case in the bottom, oh Jesus, I'm trying to put that on the wrong header. Yeah, so if it's something that I don't love with it, is probably the hard drive case that you need to take out to be able to mount an SSD. It would have been so much nicer if you could just mount an SSD to a little SSD case on the back. So we have here reset switch. That one we want to save for the button so that we can switch RGB on that. Then we have HDD LED power LED and a power switch. We then put this thing into the reset switch Shaduda. Usually you do that by putting it in with the text facing upwards. Yeah, I'm gonna use this GTSA power supply, which was this Swedish company that went bankrupt. I bought quite a few of their power supplies, or to be frank, I think I bought all of them for a cheap price, but they are decent. So this is the 550 watts model. The only like a little bit bad with it is that the CPU cable is not that long, which means it will be perfect for this case, but it wouldn't even reach in a full tower case, even though it would do it on the 750 watts version. But for this case, it's absolutely perfect. So just gonna find it, go through the hole. Oh, this hole is not very big when the motherboard is inside. I am kind of worried that we would have... Oh. Sometimes on budget cases you will see that you actually can't fit the CPU cable through the hole when the motherboard is in there, which is absolutely ridiculous. But this time it seemed to work out perfectly fine. Put a kit of DDR4 Corsair memory in here. I might switch them out for a little faster memory, since these were only 2400 megahertz, but I bought them for almost nothing. Only thing missing is the graphics card and the SSD, but I think you will have gotten a pretty good view of how it is to build in this case, which is absolutely all right. Like, it's a decent case for a budget build, and I kind of hate when people are complaining about the bad metal quality on a budget case, because it wouldn't be a budget case if it had like super good high quality steel, because then it wouldn't cost 40 euros and include 3 RGB fans anymore. And I'm guessing that that is what we are evaluating here, is what do you get for the money. And if I can find a decent RGB case that I can buy consistently at around 40 euros, like, I would be super happy with that. And I know that the kids, they want some RGB on it, and their parents, they don't want to pay too much for it. So I promise you, the kids won't care about the low quality steel. And also pretty neat, even though it make the airflow a bit resisted, is that since it's such a small case, they have this for the fans, so the fans won't get stuck in there, which is pretty nice actually. So in theory this would fire up now, and it absolutely does. Look at that! 40 euros! You can't complain on this. It's pretty decent. Like, they don't even have a cutout on the PSU, which the manufacturers of budget cases just loves. So they will get a huge plus for that. And yeah, to be fair, to be honest, for 40 euros, I think this is a great case. I wouldn't pay 60 or 70 euros, but now I got it for like less than 40 euros. It would probably be something around like 37, 38 euros. It was 400 Swedish crowns, and we need to pay like 12 crowns for a euro or something. So yeah, you do the math, but this is a decent case for the price. No question about that. Yeah, I think I will buy a few of these actually. since I have a pile of RX 580s and a pile of these power supplies for cheap. So then I just need a cheap case to go with it. But if something is gonna be a little bit of a hassle here, it's gonna be doing the cable management. But I mean, even for that, it actually has like these holes for putting your zip ties through, both there and here. So this will be fine if you're looking for a budget case. If there's no other alternatives that you know is better, I think this is probably the best case that I've found that is actually sold for 40 euros almost always, that has 3 RGB fans, and you can actually switch the colors on them. Yeah, good case for the money. This front panel is actually pretty solid and good looking. Yeah, I like it. Over and out.